quick video for you folks who flew the mission yesterday and anybody else who wants to see the results. What you see here is the software package called Terra, which is made by DJI. It's nice, it's easy to use because it interfaces with the drone. It's not necessarily the best that's out there. They very tightly control the license, so we'll probably only have this on one laptop at any given time. Over on the left, you can see the different missions. Let's take a look at the Lamont multispectral. We flew two drones. One was the multispectral and one was just the RGB. And we can take a look at the flight path, and you can see that where it started, it just basically went back and forth, and we watched it do that. Remember, we have to keep our eyes on the drone at all times according to the license. It was hard to see when it was behind the trees, but it worked out pretty well. This is all configured by the software on the drone itself, on the drone controller. So we did that there. We tried using the KMZ file from Google Earth, but I was worried that the altitude was not the right altitude. So if we go back to this here, you can see that compared to the Google Earth map, we're in early spring, and so there's a lot of vegetation which hasn't greened up yet, but there's our particular path. And the jagged edges come from the fact that there wasn't enough photos to really figure out what the edge is. So remember that the way this does it is that it stitches overlapping photos, and of course at some point you will have no overlap because there are no photos at the edges, and you will always get that jagged edge. One can later trim it out. Down here below you can see that we're looking at the RGB right now, but if we look at the NDVI or GNDVI, LCI, Red Edge, and then OSAVI, OSAVI. If you want to see where we are, we can zoom in here. There we are. And I'm not sure what we're talking about now, but I am glad that it is not audio recording. This is the case for our RTK. This is the RTK in position, launch pad, the two drones, and so forth. If we go to NDVI, we can see that we are not very photosynthetic. So we zoom back out. This will give you a sense of what the greenness, as they call it, which I always find it ironic because it doesn't actually use green light, and it gives you a sense of where the vegetation is sometimes referred to as more green or more healthy. It's a little complicated what it actually is showing us, but I think you get a sense that the production is, or the photosynthetic activity is quite different in the vegetation. The trees here have not leafed out in some cases, so we're not getting a lot of activity. But you can also probably see patches where they're dry. A lot of these patches are probably bushes. Yeah, there's a tree there, for example. And of course the roads are not terribly photosynthetic. And then this is the GNDVI, this is the LCI, Red Edge. Some people asked what this was, and I was trying to explain that what OSAVI is that it adjusts for soil reflection, and if there is a lot of bare soil being shown, then it will correct for the color of the soil, because in that case it's not really the light you're looking at is not really reflecting vegetation. So if we go back now to see what the other drone did, we can click to the mod RGB, and that camera was different. It did, and the flight path was different too. You can see that it spaced a lot more because it had the wide angle on, And there we are again, down here in the middle. And we can see that, let's see, go back, home, click on that, get rid of the cameras. All right. So this shows you, again, the photos which were taken, stitched together. Now, it costs $300, I believe, a year for this software, but if you want to do three-dimensional reconstruction, it costs $4,000 a year. We have software actually which is in reviews proven to be better than many of the competitor. It's called Metashape, and I will take these images and do it again, but this was just for fun, and I thought you'd like to see what we did. So thanks all for coming out. I hope you now, when you get your license, are able to fly these things at Tulik, and then later on at the mangrove swamps in Florida, and other places too, until we lose the drones.